follow my beats, I'm taking you out.
Jeff Ayler, it's like you're radioing them directly, because immediately at the 5-minute mark, we heard the turbines begin to spool. Time to stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4. H1 Unlimited hydroplanes come away from the dock. U1 to Miss Homestreet is first away. Jamie Nielsen this time is going to jump out. He was the third boat up the dock, but he's going to jump to an inside lane. Remember last time Nielsen took off away from the field up the backstretch. He's already got the jump on the field going down to turn 1 here at the start procedure. And Dustin Eccles this time comes up quickly onto a plane.
4:20 until the start. Brad, that's important for the drivers in the cockpit. That's part of their strategy in this race before the race. Right now, each driver does not know what lane they're starting in. This is the sequence. This is the race before the race. Usually the first one out is generally right on their timing marks. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, we're also going to see if anybody wants to cut the race course right now. They can cut the course from back to front on the top end of the GP race course. Our first 3 boats, which are Jamie Nielsen and the Legend Yacht Transport, the Beacon Electric, and the Miss Homestreet, have all decided not to do that. We'll see if maybe Dustin Eccles might want to cut the course. He could do so now, but it looks as though he too will go up underneath the Milton Madison Bridge. Everybody going up to the top end. I suspect part of that is go up and see what the water looks like up there.
3:30 until the start. Jamie Nielsen approaching the Madison Ford start-finish line buoy in the Chartreuse Royal Blue and Red Legend Yacht Transport. Following Jamie about 1,500 feet back is J. Michael Kelly in the dominant red U8 Beacon Electric. Just underneath the Milton Madison Bridge on the Indiana shoreline, the Homestreet Blue and White, Miss Homestreet, Dylan Runny in the cockpit, and behind Dylan in the Tennessee Orange. 3 minutes until the start. Dustin Eccles drives the Bucket List Racing. Brad, we're 2:55 away. Right now, still lots to decide. Which driver right now in that enclosed capsule feels, are they on their timing marks? Are they not on their timing marks? Do they need to go to plan B or C?
And are they in the lane they want to be? An interesting line for Dylan Runny down the front straightaway. He came down the front straightaway on the far outside. Behind him was Dustin Eccles, and now Dustin Eccles has moved to the inside of him. Runny left the door open for him, so he stepped inside of him. But still, to your point, a lot to decide as we come up on 2 minutes and 20 seconds. 2:20, Jeff.
Timing marks. When we get to 24 seconds, that's where the field would like to be at the entrance pin at turn number 2 to our left. Exit pin at turn number 2, 17 seconds. If you're at the Milton Madison Bridge on the front chute at 12 seconds, put the hammer to it. That's a good timing run. 2 minutes until Heat 1, H1 Unlimited.
So far, nobody has decided to cut across the race course, and now it looks like Jamie Nielsen with 150 is going to come down the front straightaway slowly. The other piece to the puzzle here, Jeff, and we've talked about it, you've got to maintain at least 80 miles per hour during this entire 5-minute period. That will be determined by the officials whether you did or did not when we go through tech inspection. But Jamie Nielsen at 1:30 is already across start finish line. Kelly comes by. He is in lane 2. Nielsen sitting at 1. Right now, it is Dustin Eccles in 3, and on the outside, it looks like Dylan Runny. 1:15, Jeff, until our start.
By the positioning of the boats, no one elected to cut through the infield just past the start-finish line buoy to the back chute. They all go in turn number 1. We are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 1 minute period has begun for heat number 1 of H1 Unlimited at the Bob Hughes Memorial 73rd Madison Regatta, presented by U.S. Premier Tube Mills. Brad Luce set these lanes for Heat 1.
Legend Yacht Transport, Jamie Nielsen. That is the Chartreuse and Royal Blue boat. He is sitting in lane number 1. He's the leader up the backstretch. Lane number 2, the bright red boat. That is the Beacon Electric. That is J. Michael Kelly in the U8. Lane number 3 is going to go to the bright orange U40. That is going to be Dustin Eccles in Bucket List Racing. It's going to be the hometown Miss Madison, Miss Homestreet on the far outside. Jeff Ayler inside, 23 seconds to the start. Let's start our 73rd Madison Regatta.
By my timing marks, everyone looks well behaved. Nielsen in 1, Kelly in 2, Eccles in 3, Runny in 4.
11,
There's 12 seconds. They're
9,
past the bridge.
8,
they see the
7,
Madison Ford start
6,
finish line.
5,
we are now
4,
3, 2, 1.
Mark.
We're racing in H1 Unlimited Heat number 1. here on the Ohio River in Madison, Indiana. Start looked good by my eye, and was a legal start. Legal start. Heat number 1, H1 Unlimited, your leader in lane number 1, Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport.
Jamie Nielsen had the best start. He led him across start-finish line, and right now he's got a full rooster tail. Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport. What a surprise up the backstretch. He's being chased by Dustin Eccles in the U40. Bucket List Racing. Then third place on the outside, Dylan Runny in the home street. J. Michael Kelly on an inside lane pulls up the rear. He is in fourth, but still a very tight field at the top end of the race course. Jeff Ayler, remember, we go 3 times around. This will be the completion of lap number 1.
Nielsen in front. If he wins this one, it will be at the start. He was there first when the clock struck 0. He's got a comfortable margin. Jamie Nielsen, your leader. Legend Yacht Transport, Dustin Eccles in second. Now J. Michael Kelly and Dylan Runny side by side for third. Nielsen 1 complete, 2 to go in the Legend Yacht Transport. Dustin Eccles in second, Bucket List Racing. J. Michael Kelly has moved to third in the Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny in fourth in Miss Home Street. And Brad Luce, could this be the first upset of the weekend? Nielsen in front, and it's comfortable.
Yeah, it is a comfortable lead. He's actually opened up water. Keep an eye on J. Michael Kelly. He has closed a little bit of ground on Dustin Eccles in the Bucket List. There's a good race back there for second. But Jamie Nielsen rocking and rolling up the backstretch. He's halfway up there in the U11 Legend Yacht Transport. Got a comfortable rooster tail and a half on Dustin Eccles that he can keep on his right side hip. We are just over halfway through this Heat 1 for H1 Unlimited. There is a good race developing for second place. Keep an eye on J. Michael Kelly in third, but off the top end, still Nielsen, Jeff.
Nielsen in front, the one-time Major League Baseball draftee by the Kansas City Royals. He loved boat racing. He's showing superior driving skill in H1 Unlimited Heat number 1. White flag displayed, 2 complete and 1 to go, and Jamie Nielsen leads it, and it's comfortable. Second place to Dustin Eccles in the Bucket List Racing. Now Dustin going to the inside wake of your leader, and Kelly is behind him. That battle for second is not over. Running in fourth, Brad, your leader is Nielsen, but look at second. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, it might get tight in there for Kelly, and it does, because Dustin moved in a little bit. It was going to get tight for Kelly. He got in the rough water. He's still within a half a rooster tail of Dustin Eccles. They're going to come off the lower end of the race course, and now Dustin Eccles starts to open it up on J. Michael Kelly after Kelly got stuck in that rough water down at turn 1. But Jamie Nielsen is up to the Milton Madison Bridge. You said it, Jeff. Could we have our first upset of the weekend? This is a doozy if the story holds. Jamie Nielsen is at the top end of the race course. He gets to the exit pin now, and he's just got to come down the front straightaway. He will pick up first place for the U11 Legend Yacht Transport.
Jamie Nielsen, your 5th fastest qualifier of the 5-boat H1 Unlimited.
Kelly is down.
And we got Kelly down, checkered flag waving. Here's your winner of H1 Unlimited Heat number 1. It's Jamie Nielsen in Legend Yacht Transport. Second place will be the Bucket List Racing. We got a battle for third. Running in the home street. Here comes Kelly on the inside, and J. Michael Kelly will get third place. I'm going to give it to Kelly by about 14 feet over Dylan Runny in the Miss Home Street. That's unofficial because we're a little bit sideways at the German American Bank judges stand looking at the Madison Ford start finish line. Jamie Nielsen, your unofficial winner of Heat number 1. He won it right at the start, the best start. Lane number 1, shorter way around, textbook driving.
Absolutely. Jamie Nielsen was just superb in that heat. My apologies to our fans as J. Michael Kelly is going dead in the water down in the lower corner. My apologies, Jeff. At the top end of the race course, Kelly really got in some soup up there, and the boat really slowed down. That's why all of a sudden you had the home street right alongside him. But a great run for Kelly to pick up third when they came home. But the story of this one, it is chartreuse and royal blue with a bunch of red trim. Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport. They are going to be extremely happy. I'm looking to our left. Scott Rainey is to our left. He's standing there with Jean Theoret.
5-minute period is in session for H1 Unlimited Heat number 2. Drivers, hit the trigger finger. Light up the Lycoming.
And they're doing exactly that. Jeff Ayler first away from the dock was J. Michael Kelly. He's the third boat from the right. He's headed out toward the center of the race course. He will turn to the right and head down to the lower corner. He's going to see off to his right that Dylan Runny is already up and gone, and he is on the outside going down the front straightaway between boats. It is our top qualifier, Corey Peabody. He will be the third boat to go down to the lower end. 1, 2, 3 down at the lower end and away from the dock, as he has been the last 2 times. And I say 2 times because they had the one heat that didn't start. Trailing the field away from the pit area, Dustin Eccles in that bright orange U40.
For our guests, race fans along the shoreline here in Madison, 2 1/2 mile course. It will be a 3-lap heat here in heat number 2 with H1 Unlimited. Right now, this is what we call the milling period. Each driver does not know which lane they will start at. This is that race before the race. This is where your timing marks come into importance in qualifying and in testing. Right now, who has the best strategy? Only one of those 4 drivers know. We don't know. They know.
They know, and they're going to try and execute to a plan. The problem is if somebody else is going to try and execute to the same plan. That's what we're about to find out. Everybody went down to the lower corner and went all the way up to the top end of the race course underneath the Milton Madison Bridge. J. Michael Kelly's going to bring him down the front straightaway at 320 before our start. Again, our boats cannot drop below 80 miles an hour. That is an aspect that will be found and determined during tech inspection. There are indicators aboard the boats, so they get an indication. If they start getting close to 80 miles an hour, they will know it. But we won't find out until after the heat is over. Side by side, Corey Peabody comes by with Dylan Runny, and then coming up behind the field, bright orange, Dustin Eccles, 2 minutes and 50 seconds, Jeff.
So the 3 of Kelly, Peabody, and Runny will go down to turn number 1. Dustin Eccles will elect to join them. He could have cut through the infield right there, but we'll go to turn number 1. We're coming up on 2 minutes and 35 seconds until H1 Unlimited heat number 2. The drone shot from H1 Unlimited. Now we go to the pan shot. Kelly leads him up the back chute, followed by Peabody and Runny. Eccles trailing back. Brad, prior to the start, you have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin of turn number 2, and right now there is still lots to decide.
Yeah, there's still lots to decide. I like where they are in the race course as we approach 2 minutes. J. Michael Kelly is right now sitting in lane number 1, but that could change. Now, look at Dustin Eccles. He starts to give it a squirt, and he's going to pull up to the rest of the field. And you made a great point, Jeff. Not this time at the top end of the race course, but the next time they go to the top end of the race course, whatever lane they are in, when they get to the entrance pin to turn 2, that's the lane they have to hold to the start-finish line. Then standard overlap rules apply. Jeff, 135 coming down the front straightaway.
Thank you, Brad. Right now the sequence would be Kelly, Peabody, Runny, and Eccles. I think Madison fans would love to see the home street blue and white more toward the buoy row, but right now everyone seems well behaved, but once again, have to have that lane established prior to the entrance pin of turn number 2. Will we see the leapfrog activity? Beautiful shot up above turn number 1 from our H1 Unlimited video team. We're coming down to 1 minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 1 minute period is in session for H1 Unlimited heat number 2. Brad Luce set these lanes. Take them up to the Milton Madison Bridge.
I think we're going to see a quicker start, if it's possible, than we saw in that first heat. But on lane number 1, it's the Beacon Electric and J. Michael Kelly. Lane number 2 is the Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. Lane number 3 is the Powder Blue, the Home Street. And on the far outside is Dustin Eccles in the U40, the Bucket List Racing. Coming up on 35 seconds. I liked where they were coming off the lower corner at about a minute 6. Jeff, they're at the top end of the race course. Inside 30 seconds, it's heat 2 of H1 Unlimited. Get them going.
Thank you, Brad Luce. I like the alignment. This start maybe just a touch early. Feather that throttle. We're at 17 seconds. They're at the bridge. They're at 12. Put the hammer down. H1 Unlimited heat number 2. We are now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, we're racing. We'll call it physically. Dustin Eccles led him across the line in lane number 4 in the Bucket List Racing. Up above with the drone in turn number 1. Eccles there first, but we look to the inside. Corey Peabody, your leader in the Beacon Plumbing. J. Michael Kelly second. Runny third. Eccles fourth.
It is Strong Racing running 1-2 coming off the corner in lane number 2. It is Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing, and he's got his teammate J. Michael Kelly sitting in that left side rear view mirror on the inside lane. But Jeff, you don't see the other boats because they are right there with them. And look on the outside. You have got Dustin Eccles making a move on the outside. Very tight at the top end of the race course, Jeff. Anybody's race here.
The start was good. Bertana Morissette with H1 Unlimited. Corey Peabody had the lane. He's in lane number 2, leads it. J. Michael Kelly back in second, but we got a battle for third between Dylan Runny and Dustin Eccles. We'll come down to complete lap number 1 of 3. It's Corey Peabody now comfortably in front. Kelly in second. Officially after lap 1, Eccles in third officially, Runny in fourth. Peabody comfortably in front. Kelly in second, the advantage to the buoy row. Eccles now in third, make it 6 boat lengths. Brad loose off the turn. Peabody comfortably in front, but still some deciding to do for second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, that race for third and fourth is a barn burner right there. It is Dylan Runny right now with about a 3 or 4 boat length lead over Dustin Eccles on the outside. You can see the orange boat. All you see is the rooster tail. And look at Dylan Runny. He's got his sights set on J. Michael Kelly. This is still a very, very close boat race as we go underneath the Milton Madison Bridge. This lap number 2 of 3. Top end of the race course. Corey Peabody's got his teammate off to his left. That's J. Michael Kelly. But he's also got Mears on the right side with full of boats.
Peabody swung out. Corey Peabody has found some extra voltage, or J. Michael Kelly, he's still in the mix. White flag displayed, 2 complete, 1 more to go. Corey Peabody, your leader in the Beacon Plumbing, now making a 7 boat length advantage over J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny third in Miss Home Street, Dustin Eccles fourth in Bucket List Racing. Back into turn number 1 here on the Wild Bill Cantrell Memorial Racecourse. Peabody, your leader. Kelly still in second. Boy, it's rough off the turn.
Yeah, it's real rough coming off that corner, but they all got through it clean, and now our boats are starting to spread out a little bit. It is Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. He's out by a full rooster tail over his teammate, J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. But in the right side rear view mirror, J. Michael Kelly's got a lot of home street blue. He's going to have to drive a big race course because he's going to have to go wider than Corey Peabody is driving. That's going to be a real handicap. See how they come off the corner and how much room JMK has on the inside, and he's got a lot of it, Jeff. Bring him down. The checkered flag flies.
Your top qualifier, your leader underneath the Milton Madison Bridge, Corey Peabody eyeing the Madison Ford start-finish line buoy, checkered flag waving. Here's your winner of heat number 2 in H1 Unlimited, Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. J. Michael Kelly will get second in the Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny made a charge on the back chute on the last lap, but will settle for third in the Miss Home Street. And Dustin Eccles had the best start of all in the Bucket List Racing. But Brad, when you're in lane number 4, and no pun intended, that's handicap territory, covering too much territory.
We know the inside lane here on this particular race course can be really tough, but that doesn't mean they get better the further you go out. The sweet spot is somewhere in the middle, and you're right. Dustin Eccles had his hands full. He had a great start. He had a lot of boat speed. He was right in the mix for a bit. And I think when they came off the lower corner there at the beginning of lap number 3, I think his radio people probably made commentary to him, let him go. They're starting to move away. And the water was getting pretty soupy. But boy, strong racing. And you say no pun intended, they look pretty strong. Corey looked really strong.
Green flag.
The 5-minute period is in session. The trigger finger is on the igniter.
cockpit. So it gets really, really warm, and those driver suits get really, really warm as well.
They've got to get a hook on the Notre Dame out there. He's off the course, but he still should get him out of the way.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm good with you, whatever.
welcome back. Those shots of food.
Sounds good.
I'm starving. Lay off me. I'm starving. That would be nice. Let's as we get closer to the start of this race, and there's all these strategies. Well, if you do have the slower boat, though, Nate, like, you know, you look at it from the start, Jamie's got a tough task ahead of him. How can the engineers and the technology help him maybe close the gap a little bit on that?
It's just time and sponsor dollars, dyno time and everything else like that. I mean, all these teams here, with maybe the exception of the home street, need dyno time. Right now, the nearest dyno time is in Nebraska. I understand it's about $10,000 to run one motor. And that's just something that you just don't do. The competition specialties in Auburn used to have one we could run on. Budweiser team used to have one up in Lake Stevens we could run on. It was really great. But these guys are showing the effects of really having a lot of time on motors without dyno time.
And we're all over the race course here, just inside the 5-minute mark. So we got people and this is typical for where we are in the 5-minute period. Get guys all over the race course. Dave Villwock, Jamie Nilsson. Just outside of him is J. Michael Kelly. Sometimes they'll play leapfrog, sometimes they'll just shadow and wait for the boat ahead of them to make some kind of a move. Cut through the infield, go all the way around. J. Michael Kelly's coming up a little closer on the outside, right-hand side of Jamie Nilsson and the old furniture warehouse. And looks like he's going to go a little farther outside.
So all these guys, if they're holding back to this point, when they get into the final, this is where things could get a little eventful out there.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Somebody just went by J. Michael Kelly, and he's going to cut through the infield, it looks like, because he went through the wake, and I couldn't tell whether that was Jamie Nilsson or J. Michael Kelly. But, Nate, the wind's coming up just a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Looks like Dave Villwock's got lead water right now. It's a little bit early for him. It's 2 minutes and 47 seconds. He's probably going to come around. They might start doing donuts at this end of the field just to be able to protect your lane. All these boats are bunched up right now. So I think Jimmy right now is sitting in the catbird seat because he can see what those guys are going to do and set himself up accordingly. But it's coming down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, yeah, they're in the wrong spot right now to get. They're going to have to cut the course, I think, here to get a good spot.
See what Jimmy does. Again, we're reminding everybody about the 80-mile-an-hour rule. Can't go below 80 miles an hour, and that's a disqualification. If you do it once, you get a warning. If you do it again, you're disqualified. You don't get any points at all. So these guys, especially in the final heat, they're going to be very, very careful. Corey Peabody told me earlier this week that you really have to go into a turn at about 90 or 95 because you scrub off enough speed. You don't want to have that drop below 80 miles an hour when you come out of the turn in this milling period. So there's Jamie Nilsson.
They're all going around the course, and there's a minute 45 left. It's going to be interesting.
Jamie Nilsson now has moved to the inside. We got a ton of boats trying to be on the inside. Can't tell exactly where Dave Villwock is. He's 68 years old, going for his 68th win.
Dave's in lane 2. He's letting Jamie into lane 1. They're coming up with a minute 27, and they can't go any faster than this, or they're all going to be early. I think Jimmy is sitting back here going, you guys are early, and I'm going to show you guys what to do. Unless he cuts the course right here, I don't know.
He could cut the course and pick up lane number 1.
Not.
He
knows
not.
He's probably in a good
going
place.
around.
He's looking at his own timing marks here, a minute 10.
So with Jamie Nilsson on the inside, as we can see from the overhead shot, I can't tell. And
He just got wet a little bit.
Jamie just got his lane just went away.
Yep.
Lane just went away. Coming up the log boom in the back stretch.
So Jamie had to go underneath 80 there because he got wet, but I think he's still up and running. So I don't know if there'll be a call or not. I think it's to be close on overlap.
Jimmy Shane leading him up. There's Jamie Nilsson. Looks like he is still. Let's see when they pass the next buoy. Nope, he's moved out at least to lane 2.
These guys are all so early. Look at this. It's 31 seconds to the start of the race. It's only 10 seconds off the exit pin. So they're going to be crawling across the line. Jimmy out here in the outside lane, if the way it looks from here, it looks like he's going to smoke him at the start and cut him off in the first corner. But we'll see. These boats accelerate so well.
Well, the lead boat on the inside, which is Jamie Nilsson, looks like he is already at power and coming down hard. The third lane boat and the second lane boat down, both on power. They're slowing down.
Yeah, no, there's a jumper.
Looked like we had a jumper. We'll see whether this is
Jimmy,
under review.
just like I mentioned there, Jimmy wired the start, full steam ahead. He actually could go in front of everybody if he wanted to with overlap, but he's a good driver. He's not going to do it.
Start is under review. Jimmy Shane up the backstretch on lap number 1. They're going 5 times around. Our preliminary heats were 3. So this is lap number 1 of 5 times around. J. Michael Kelly giving chase to Jimmy Shane. You saw J. Michael Kelly about 7 or 8 boat lengths behind, but on the inside of him, can't tell whether that's Bill Walk or Jamie Nilsson. We didn't see enough of him.
Jamie's way in the back right now, Mark.
Okay.
We got Jimmy out in front. We got J. Michael Kelly in second, Bill Walk on the inside,
Yeah.
and lane in third.
He is
really
in
great
third.
boat race from lane 1 and lane 2 between J. Michael Kelly and Dave Billwalk. They're barreling down the start. The start is under review, it looks to me. Yep. The U40 did jump, so Dave right now is last place. J. Michael is in second place, and Jimmy Shane is in first place. So
those boat drivers know exactly what happened, and they will now tell their drivers. The drivers know, their communicators. Oh, Jimmy is getting walk. He's walking the sponsons back and forth, and J. Michael Kelly has fallen back a little bit. Jimmy's all by himself. There's J. Michael. He's working the sponsons as well, but he's now more than a rooster tail behind Jimmy Shane as they come up the backstretch along the log boom toward the north turn.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane's definitely the class of the field here, but J. Michael Kelly, he's hanging in there, so I know he's got the throttle smashed. Jeff Bernard is gaining on Billwalk right here, but I hear a little noise coming in from his boat. I don't know what's going on. Jamie's hanging in there too as well, but look at this race coming down to the start. Yeah, Jimmy's hanging way out wide, but J. Michael Kelly, if he can hold it to the pins here, it's going to be really quite a race. Jimmy's stayed way wide. I don't know why, because J. Michael Kelly is going to sneak around on the inside, and he's going to come out of this one on top.
J. Michael Kelly coming out of the south turn, and he has overtaken Jimmy Shane in the home street bank. It's really those 2 boats, everybody else lagging farther behind. The 2 boats in the lead, J. Michael Kelly on the inside, Jimmy Shane in the home street. There is Jeff Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate. But here is your race for first place. It's J. Michael Kelly on the inside, Jimmy Shane way on the outside.
Something's going on with Jimmy Shane, or there's a call or something we don't know about, because J. Michael Kelly is just, Jimmy's got a problem. Look how far out he is. He's got steering issues or something like that. Something's going on with Jimmy Shane. Hope he's safe. J. Michael Kelly has got this one in the bag. If he can hang on for another lap.
Yeah, we got three down and 2 to go. Jimmy Shane falling back and running on the outside. J. Michael Kelly running on the buoy line. Oh, he's in lane number 2.
Jeff Bernard's going to catch Jimmy here, I think, this next lap.
Up the backstretch along the log boom, there's Jimmy Shane. Still farther on the outside. Looks like he's got good boat speed, Nate, but he's fallen back, and J. Michael Kelly is out in front. And there is the Goodman Real Estate on the inside of Jimmy Shane, and he's now passed Jimmy for second place. J. Michael Kelly coming around the turn, and he will head down the front straightaway. This should be the white flag coming up. 1 more to go in the books for J. Michael Kelly, and he's flying the boat down the front straightaway. Jeff Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate in second place. Jimmy Shane has fallen back to third. You're right, Nate, something is wrong, and there's Dave Billwalk, who has assessed a 1-lap penalty for jumping the gun. But your leader by a good ways is J. Michael Kelly. There's Jimmy Nilsson. J. Michael Kelly on the lead on the backstretch on lap number 5.
Jamie Nielsen and 11 is doing a great job too as well in that slop. It's too bad he couldn't stay on a little bit harder. He could have picked up Jimmy Shane too as well. Billwalk, I think there's something wrong with him too there, because I mean, even if he jumped the gun, you never know with all the other calls. He's probably got a mechanical issue too.
J. Michael Kelly in the Boitano Homes gonna bring it home on Lake Washington, the Ted Jones Race Course. J. Michael Kelly down the front straightaway for the final time. Unofficially, he is the winner of the Home Street Bank Cup 2022. J. Michael Kelly. He is not a stranger to the winner's circle here.
And Jeff Bernard's crossing for a second.
Fans from my hometown, it's awesome, and
Owners are super happy. Man, it feels good to bring this home to them, and there's going to be a big party at our boat shop tonight.
Okay, I may be there. I'll invite the
You're
broadcast
welcome.
crew
Yes,
as well.
for sure.
You go party, go hang out with the loved ones, go celebrate. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right, a very happy J. Michael Kelly here, Paul Sylvie. Let's send it back to you.
Thank you, Chris. J. Michael Kelly down home there, and his answer.
Darrell Strong and J. Michael Kelly.
Yeah, great sponsor to have in the sport, owner to have in the sport, because he's really a boat racer's owner. I mean, he's really cool. A lot of the people on that team have come from other teams.
They came back, they had racing back in the mid-'60s, but they came back 3 or maybe it's 4 years ago, but we skipped the 20 season because of COVID. And they have done a tremendous job. In fact, they're going to be back. They've already announced I think it's going to be the last weekend or mostly the last weekend in 2023 in June. They're back again for the first race of the season. And Madison always comes back, but it's not easy to put one of these races on. If you look at all the volunteers that it takes to put on the Seafair event here, weekend air show and boat race, it's not easy to find that kind of volunteer core to build on. And also take sponsor money. You got to get sponsors there, make them feel a part of the family, and make them want to be involved, have the community be involved. Community clubs, service clubs.
We hope next year, too, we can get some more support classes involved. You saw the J Hydros, the kids. There's some Grand Prix boats. There's some 6 liters. There's some other support class boats that could really put on more boat racing on the water. I mean, air show is great. Blues are great. But it's also a boat race. We want to have excitement for the fans, whether they do it on Friday or Saturday. I mean, who knows? Seafair's got all that planned. But there are other classes you can start out in if you wanted to get your feet wet in boat racing. APBA, just get online, go apba.org, and you can see everything from little boats to Grand Prix to unlimited hydroplanes, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we saw a little something different this year with the match racing, which was one-on-one.
Yep,
and
good stuff.
A nice little feature on Saturday for the fans that wanted to see more racing. You see the selfies and with the champ down there, and everybody's enjoying the moment. But the match racing was nice, one-on-one, little something different for fans.
Yeah, there's something that H1 is trying new this year. They tried it at Madison and here, and I don't know whether they'll try it in San Diego or not. It kind of depends on what the San Diego Race Committee wants to do as well. But it brought a lot of fans, brought a lot of racing on Saturday, and it was good racing. So, you try some new things to engage some new people, both on the team side and the fan side.
And Nate, you think you enjoy something like that if you had a chance to do the match racing one-on-one?
Oh, yeah, that was a great show. It's also good fun, too, a little less stress. I mean, you really honestly get stressed when there's 5 boats on a course and you got to try to fight for a lane and figure out where it is. You got so many different emotions going and all that stuff. That's why, right now, Jimmy jumped the gun. But there's only 2 boats. It's, you can jump the gun, but there's no 80-mile-an-hour rule, so you can drop slow if you need to.
And the lanes were
assigned lane, which takes a lot of the stress out. It also creates for good competition because the way they did it, they did the fastest qualifier with like the 3rd fastest qualifier. They figure it's 5 miles an hour a lane, so they were able to pair them up competitively, very much like you would do in a tournament, like any kind of tournament. So you pair them up. So those guys, to win that race, and if you're the fastest boat on the outside of a little boat slower, you got to really go for it. So every race we saw Saturday was deck to deck.
How about as far as when we see these guys just missing and just jumping, as you're saying, take us back to your driving days. When you're coming around that turn, how in the world do you guys figure that out? Where is it just natural after a while that you're going to hit that thing at the right time?
It is and it isn't. I had some great starts in my racing career. I also had some really boners. So it's been both sides. And testing really makes a big difference. And unfortunately, a lot of these race sites, they don't allow a lot of testing. So, people need to test. And during that testing time, you make timing runs. You start on the inside, start on the outside. You have timing marks for different stuff. What I had on my boat, I had a button that I could push that would put a tick mark in the computer download. So I knew where every buoy was, and it would automatically put a time on it, so it kind of helped. But it comes down to water conditions. Is it rough when you started or when you did your timing run? Because I've jumped the gun before where I was a second over, and I swear to God I hit my mark right. It's because the water was rougher and you accelerate quicker. That sticky water thing I told you about.
No, the other thing you have to realize, Paul, is that when these guys are coming down the front straightaway off that buoy, turn buoy, and they're coming down for the start, they're doing 145, 150 miles an hour or so. That's almost a football field a second. So if you're a second over, it's one football field is what the other guys are looking at, your rooster tail.
Yeah. I mean, to watch it and just see how those guys time that, just the way they do it is just a game within a game for sure. But 1 second over is like, that's like a blowout.
Well, my nephew was J. Michael Kelly's radio guy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what he was telling him, but I know Kip's a really good radio guy. He's telling him, okay, you're on your mark, you're on here, you're on that, you're whatever. So a radio guy really helps too as well. A good radio guy makes everything. The best report was a guy named Tracy Bratfold. He was with the Tide and with the Elam boat. He made me feel so comfortable. He reminded me to use my foot, tell me I was doing a good job, tell me I really messed up. I mean, but he was really a good radio guy. And the more comfortable you are in the boat, a really good radio guy, good hardware, I mean, everything. I mean, it gets right down to the guy holding the rope on the boat. If he doesn't put it on right and you lose the rope, you lose your thing. So it's honestly a team thing. It's not just a driver, it's a team.
All right, unofficial point standings now as we take a look, and Mark, it's sitting up there for Jimmy if he wants it, but he's got some work to do.
Yeah, less than 700 points. I'm just doing a real quick calculation, but that is a doable task for J. Michael Kelly in San Diego.
Yeah, it is. I was tough. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Jimmy just has to run around circles. As long as he starts and finishes, he should be okay. But going too slow, get DNF or disqualified for going too slow. That's no points. So that happens.
Yeah. Technical game, mental game, physical game. It's all wrapped up into one big package for the drivers for sure. We will be right back.
It is the oldest
owner and a driver, the only person to do that. So great to have both of you here.
Oh, thanks,
and
Paul.
What does it mean to have the Gold Cup back in Seattle?
It is just great.
them. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but pretty exciting to have two boats battling for a high point championship, and just a really great group of boats out there going for this Gold Cup. So Thank you, everybody. Looking forward to tomorrow.
The H1 Unlimited Heat 2B is presented by Beacon Plumbing.
His teammates coming after him.
That's right. And, you know, Home Street boat, too, needs points. I mean, up into this thing, it was tough. You can see this is coming down for the start, how close it was or how late they were, actually. And you can still count. There they were. So it was all good. But, you know, at speed, that's a tough thing to do. But it was really great for Corey Peabody to come out on top of this one to get more points for that national championship and also to get points to get into that final here.
Corey Peabody, one heck of a driver, but his team is what brought him out here and gave him that championship. It takes a combination.
Here's the results. The U9 and Corey Peabody. The second place U1 then Dylan Rennie. The third place was Gunnar O'Farrell, and Bobby King ended up jumping. Oh, he went below 80 miles an hour. That's right. He went below 80 miles an hour at the start, and that's no points, so that really hurt him. But he did a good job on the race course, except for the talk about flying, man. The guy really flew that thing. Beacon Electric, J. Michael Kelly doing everything he can to stay up with him, everybody. And look at the fly of this boat. Look at that. You don't want to get any higher than that. And he was doing a great job, Dustin was.
Dustin Eccles does a great job with that boat. I actually was sitting in the pits yesterday with owners Kelly and Sharon Stockland, and they were watching him out on the course. And Sharon at one point had to turn around. She's like, man, he needs to keep that boat down. But you know what? Fly that thing to the extreme, and there it is. It's going to be the champion.
Yep, no, he did a good job. And the flavor pack was doing a wonderful. He's just tapping and flying it just like exactly like you're supposed to be.
Exactly. You want to tap those sponsons left to right, you know, and we've got a great duel going on right now. Jamie Nielsen on the inside with Legend Yacht Transport and Old Cannery Furniture. A very, very fast driver, but you can hear it. Here's the crowd. They're all excited because the winner was Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack.
Yep, he did a good job, too, leaving room for Jamie, so it was a clean race, and everybody had a good time. Here you go, Dustin coming on in.
Dustin Eccles is coming in, and check out the front of the canopy on the inside. That is a new thing that they added a couple years ago. It helps with the aerodynamics. Each one of these boats has their little
Welcome back to the 2023 Seafair Weekend Festival, featuring
A little too much, might have caught a little bit of a bad roller, and he's got really close to Andrew Tate in the Goodman wrench. Goodman is doing so well, but this is going to be a battle all the way to the finish. We're only 1 lap in, 2 more to go.
Jamie's got to watch this spot in lane 1 right now. Not a good spot to be in because Andrew is really holding him in tight, and it's going to not leave much room for Jamie Nielsen.
I am biting my nails over how close this race is, and it's Corey Peabody on the inside.
There is not 10 foot feet between those posts. There's like 10 inches. These guys are they're throwing themselves down the race course. This is really a great race between Corey Peabody and Andrew Tate.
Corey Peabody on the inside, and the Beacon Plumbing all-white boat on the lead now by about, I'd have to say, not even a half a rooster tail is going to be Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate. Andrew taking the longest way around the course, but Corey Peabody, he's owning that inside lane.
Yeah, but he had a little bit, he bounced out a little bit, but he was able to keep the RPM up. But Corey Peabody is just all the way gas to the pedal right now. And look at this. It's deck to deck coming across the line.
You can hear the crowds getting excited. We just about lost Andrew Tate. Once again, he's done this time after time after time.
But that's how you go fast. You got to learn to fly these things like that to go fast.
But he's packing too much air underneath that thing.
He's doing just right. He didn't blow over, did he?
Oh,
look at that. He's doing Beacon Plumbing coming down the backstretch, and Andrew probably had to lift because of that. A lot of air underneath there. And Bobby King, obviously, in the Graham Trucking did jump the gun. But look at this. Andrew Tate, he's just saying, enough of this. I'm in the final lap. I'm going to hold him as tight as I possibly can in this final corner. This is deck-to-deck boat racing, guys. They're coming off the corner deck to deck. It's who has enough acceleration coming down for the finish line. Who's going to get this heat? Looks like Beacon Plumbing at this point in time is going to get it. Yes, he does. Beacon Plumbing.
Congratulations to Corey Peabody and the Beacon family. That was one heck of a race. They really had to put it to the edge to get that checkered flag. Corey
I'm out here telling people how they can save money with Experian. You look like someone who has a lot of subscriptions.
I have a lot.
Too many, I'd say. You can see yours.
Love you, brother. Love you. Let's go!
That's how I feel, you know. Let's go, big bro. Love you. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's go.
Come on, baby, let's do it. Looking good.
Yeah, that's what we're doing going this way, but if we didn't come here, we were going to actually back it around the other side.
Slightly bigger cranes. He's slightly bigger.
132.
That's pretty good.
Let's go! Good turn. Well, I just figured that they want. I'm right behind him, so.
You were coming this way, going out that way.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
What was that? Yeah, you said 135 or 125. So I think it was 135 because he ran a 132 the second. Something like that. He's got to cut the course now and come in. I'm like, no. He's got the course. Just want to make sure which buoy. Already good? 5 total. Let him land. Let him land.
So how many we got left? About 3? About 3 laps left? You qualify?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't keep track of that.
Okay. Nice, 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 nice. Nice. Love it. In the Muncie family, we give you a formal invitation. Hydroplane Raceboat Museum. In the Muncie family, we give you a formal invitation to drive Bill Muncie's Blue Blaster.
The hydroplanes always raced in San Diego over my birthday weekend, and we would go all the time. We were friends with the Muncies. Bill Muncie was one of the guys that I looked up to as a young kid. Maybe a couple of years ago, one of the guys at Hendrick Motorsports came to me and had this photo. And he's like, "We think this is you. Is that you?" And I'm like, "It is me." And this story comes about. I was able to talk to Chip. For a hot minute, worked on the chance for me to drive the boat, and then COVID hits, and it got quiet until last night. And then last night, it all came back to life, and the biggest surprise in my life. And I now have a chance to go drive this boat. And I can't wait to have my Bill Muncie orange helmet on, and I hope we can do it in San Diego. It would be super special to go back to Mission Bay to do it.
Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum. In the Muncie family, we give you a formal invitation to drive Bill Muncie's Blue Blaster.
The hydroplanes always raced in San Diego over my birthday weekend, and we would go all the time. We were friends with the Muncies. Bill Muncie was one of the guys that I looked up to as a young kid. Maybe a couple of years ago, one of the guys at Hendrick Motorsports came to me and had this photo. And he's like, "We think this is you. Is that you?" And I'm like, "It is me." And this story comes about. I was able to talk to Chip. For a hot minute, worked on the chance for me to drive the boat, and then COVID hits, and it got quiet until last night. And then last night, it all came back to life, and the biggest surprise in my life. And I now have a chance to go drive this boat, and I can't wait to have my Bill Muncie orange helmet on, and I hope we can do it in San Diego. It would be super special to go back to Mission Bay to do it.